One of the most important things you can do to become healthier, more productive, and happier is stick to the right habits. This is the cornerstone of your success. You're investing in yourself, and sooner or later, you will see the result. You don't have to invest millions of dollars at once. You just have to be patient and consistent. It's not possible to reach some of your goals and dreams in one day. If you want to bench press 225 pounds with no previous experience in weightlifting, and average strength and body mass, you won't be able to reach your goal even if you work out for 12 hours today. But if you pay attention to proper dieting and your exercising program, after some time, you'll be able to do it. And vice versa. If you want to live as long as you can, smoking nicotine will only stand in the way of doing it. You may not see consequences in short term, but especially if you're an experienced smoker, the risk of all-cause mortality will significantly increase, and maybe you won't live as long and healthy as you initially planned. Sticking to habits is like taking small steps. When someone asks professional athletes, CEOs, and other people who are considered successful what is the key to their success, they probably won't say something like, do 100 push-ups right now and you'll immediately get drafted by NBA. That doesn't work that way. For most people, it's a very long process with highs and lows. So, your self-mastery journey is like a marathon, and I believe you should think in long term. As I already said, habits can help you with that. Some of them can improve your physical and mental health, while others may undermine your goals and expectations of life. According to studies, people engage in habitual behavior at least half of the time. One study even speculated that around 95% of behaviors in daily life are performed in a non-deliberative, relatively thoughtless manner. Whether it's 50 or 95%, it's still a massive part of our lives. This is a hot topic nowadays. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of books about how you can harness the power of habits, and this area is still being researched by many scientists around the world. And I think it's awesome. Self-improvement is a never-ending journey, and in this video I'm gonna talk about 5 science-backed habits that may improve your life dramatically. And let me know in the comments which habits of these 5 you already have in your arsenal. Check whether you make enough mistakes. When it comes to simple tasks in which there is a clear correct and incorrect answer, you can stick to the 85-15 rule. And no, I'm not talking about Pareto principle. Never heard of 15-85 split? I'll explain what it means. Have you ever been told that mistakes make you stronger? To learn new things, we must sometimes fail. But how often should we do it? Does the one-size-fits-all formula even exist? I faced many different tasks, exams, and questions throughout my school and university life. Some of them were really difficult. I'd even say almost impossible. You've been using the right sources of information and allocated seemingly enough time to prepare for the test, but it still wasn't enough to get 100 out of 100. Sometimes it was extra difficult to get 70. It was really annoying and frustrating. And then there were days when you were given a test which took almost zero mental effort, and of course your result was really high. But again, if it's too easy, it doesn't feel as good as completing slightly more challenging tasks. So what is the perfect ratio? According to a study published in 2019, the optimal error rate for training is around 15.87%. Computers participated in that study learned fastest with this percentage of mistakes. Basically, it's a sweet spot in which training is neither too easy nor too hard. Let's suppose you're learning Spanish at home, you're testing yourself from time to time in order to find out whether you remember the material from last week. If you don't make mistakes at all, maybe you should increase the difficulty. But if only a half of the answers is correct, then you should slow down a little. It doesn't have to be precisely 15%, but it should be close to it. If you make much less mistakes, then you're learning too slow. But if it's way more than 15, then something may be wrong as well. The chances are you're not ready to move to the next topic. Exercise. You won't be surprised if I tell you that many studies show that physical activity may make you live longer. Actually, insufficient physical activity is the fourth leading risk factor for mortality. My personal favorite type of physical activity is weightlifting. Working out in the gym is one of the habits I can effortlessly stick to, no matter what period of my life I'm at. Talking about muscle strength, this study, which included more than 4,000 participants aged 50 and older, showed that low muscle strength was independently associated with elevated risk of all-cause mortality, but regardless of muscle mass. So you don't have to be extremely big to experience benefits from exercising. Besides weightlifting, I also do cardio, which I like much less. Despite the resistance I have to come through before I step on a treadmill or go outside if the weather is good, I feel great after running. Research suggests that the minimum effective dose of aerobic physical activity for significant mortality risk reduction is around 1 hour per week of moderate or vigorous physical activity. You can further lower the mortality risk if you train up to 3 hours per week. The study also suggests that it's even better if you engage in muscle strengthening exercises in combination with cardio. Build high-quality relationships. Have you ever heard of the Harvard Happiness Study, also referred to as the Harvard Study of Adult Development? It's the longest study on happiness ever conducted. It took more than 75 years. 75. That's close to life expectancy in the United States. Some participants were teenagers when they were recruited for this study, and some are still alive and take part in this research, answering questionnaires about their life and health. One of the conclusions researchers made from this study was that quality relationships can make us healthier and happier. It turns out people who are less connected to their families, friends, or community live shorter. And you don't have to have millions of friends. What matters is the quality of your relationships. According to a director of this study, the people who were most satisfied with their relationships at age 50 were the healthiest at age 80. So think about people closest to you. Are your relationships with them good? Maybe you have toxic friends. If you're hesitant whether you should avoid communicating a lot with toxic people, maybe you should remember that it's about your health and longevity. Meditate. This is the last habit I will include in this video. Meditation is an ancient practice that cultivates a calm yet focused mind. There are many benefits you can experience by consistently meditating, and there are many forms of meditation. Some of them can make you focus more intensely. This study participants who were non-experienced meditators experienced decreased negative mood state and enhanced attention, working memory, and recognition memory after 8 weeks of brief daily meditation. They did it for 13 minutes per day, but in some studies, the duration of meditation practices was even less. Another form, called Yoga Nidra, can improve sleep. Mindfulness meditations can also help decrease stress. So there are many different types and they have different purposes. For example, if you're going to sleep, there is no point in doing a meditation practice which increases focus. You should rather choose Yoga Nidra. But studies showed improvements after a certain period of time. So if you want to see those long-term benefits, you should be consistent and patient. Alright, let's recap. One of the most important changes you can do with your life to become healthier, more productive and happier is build good habits and stick to them as long as you can. Performing your habitual behavior may be like taking small steps. If it's a good habit, those steps are directed towards the one you want to become. I talked about 4 science-backed tips on how you can improve your life. First one was about making mistakes. A study published in Nature Communications suggests that you should make mistakes 15% of the time in order to optimize your learning experience. So, if what you're doing can be either correct or incorrect, you can use this principle, especially if you're a student. Another serious practice you can think of is exercising. Physical activity can make you look better, become stronger, and healthier. It's possible that stronger people tend to live longer. You should do at least 1 hour of moderate or vigorous intensity physical activity per week to significantly decrease your mortality risk. Another habit is building quality relationships with people around you. We are social creatures, and the longest study on happiness shows how important it is to be connected in order to live longer and happier lives. And last thing I talked about was meditation. There are many mindfulness practices to choose from. It depends on whether you want to increase your focus and attention or you want to relax and calm down. I truly hope this video is helpful. Subscribe and watch other ones, and have a good day.